It is Oscar Sunday, and I am so excited. It's Hollywood's biggest night. This is really exciting. Jimmy Kimmel is hosting. He's hosted a couple times before. He's funny. He's a good host, so that should be good. But I'm really interested, particularly because this is the first year that I'm really like fully invested in the Oscars. A couple years ago, 2022. I was going to watch it, but then something else came up, and then of course, I got the notification. Oh, Will Smith just slapped Chris Rock, so I heard about it. But then last year I actually did watch the Oscars in a hotel with my best friend, so that was great, fun experience. But this year, actually, I am going to a red carpet event, not the actual Oscars themselves. How cool would that be, man? I wish. But no, where I live, there's like just a viewing party being put on with a red carpet event. And like, yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna dress up. I'm gonna get my picture taken and all that stuff on the red carpet. Like, I'm gonna look all fancy. So yeah, I'm excited for that, and I'm excited for the Oscars themselves as well, because this is a year of films that I am so incredibly invested in. 2023 was a fantastic year for film. From Oppenheimer to Barbie to Poor Things, The Holdovers, just so many great movies from 2023. So we are going to talk about it. This is going to be my predictions video for the Oscars 2024. You can let me know your own predictions in the comments below as well. But before we jump into that, and also keep in mind, I'm not going to be covering all of the categories, just kind of the key ones that I'm interested in personally. One thing I do want to mention just off the bat, something I am incredibly disappointed in for the Oscars this year is the lack of nominations for the Iron Claw. Just complete ignorance for this film. Now, I don't know whose fault it is, whether it's the Academy and all these other award shows people for just completely ignoring the film, or if it's on A24 for not putting in a good awards season campaign for it, putting all their eggs in one basket with Past Lives, which also great film, but the Iron Claw just deserves so much more. The Iron Claw is my favorite movie of 2023. I love it so much. It's one of my favorite movies of all time now. And I think it was so deserving to at least get nominated in some of these categories. Again, I don't know why it was just completely ignored and shut out of award season, so undeservedly so, because this should have, again, at least been nominated for Best Picture. I don't know if it would have won, but it should have at least been nominated. And the other big one that everybody's talking about, or was talking about, Zac Efron for Best Actor. Again, would he have won? I don't know. Personally, I kind of think he should have. But, to do that, you kind of have to get nominated, and well, look where we are. Jeremy Allen White was great as Carrie Von Erich as well. Really, all the acting performances were fantastic. This movie just deserved to actually get some love and some recognition. So it's really just such a shame and really a disappointment that there's nothing here for this film. It really sucks. But obviously it wasn't nominated. So, this is a predictions video. It's not going to be discussed at the Oscars, so that sucks, but I guess we got to move on. So anyway, first category we're talking about is Best Animated Feature. This here is really a two-horse race. It's between Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse and The Boy and the Heron. Now, The Boy and the Heron I have not seen. Obviously, I've heard good things about it, but I haven't seen it myself. So I think Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse is going to win. Into the Spider-Verse won a couple years ago when that came out. So obviously the Academy loved that. So they probably loved Across the Spider-Verse as well. And especially considering, at least personally, I think Across the Spider-Verse is even better than the first film. I feel it's pretty likely that Across the Spider-Verse will win the award, which is such a good movie. So I'm really happy about that. Oppenheimer, we know, is just going to absolutely sweep the Oscars this year. It's going to get so many awards, including, I believe, both sound and score. Also, cinematography and editing, probably going to Oppenheimer for sure. Visual effects. This one also kind of a two-horse race. I mean, obviously all great nominations in this category. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, great visual effects. But really it's down to Godzilla Minus One and The Creator. Now, Godzilla Minus One I saw in theaters. Fantastic film. So good. Visual effects in that is great. One thing it has in common with The Creator is they both had smaller budgets but did really great work with their VFX. They really made the best use of their money. And while I haven't seen The Creator, from what I have seen in trailers and just clips from the film, I do believe The Creator probably will win. Just considering that that's more sci-fi, that's more visual effects heavy. The director is known for doing a lot on a small VFX budget, and also there were a few moments in Godzilla Minus One where you could tell it's a little cheap. So I think The Creator will win the award. Now, as for screenplays, let's talk about some writing here. Now, I have not seen Anatomy of a Fall, but I believe it's going to win original screenplay, just based on the past winnings of the award season. That's been another interesting thing for me this year, is actually keeping up with the other award shows. I watched the Golden Globes, I watched the SAG Awards, all that stuff. So I've been keeping track of who's been winning and who's not. Adapted screenplay, this could go a couple different ways. Some people are saying maybe Christopher Nolan will win. Personally, I don't think really the screenplay was the strength of that film. Barbie, fantastic script from Greta Gerwig and Noah Baumbach, but I believe American Fiction will probably win. I haven't seen it myself personally, but it's won a couple awards so far, so I say it looks pretty likely. Now, Best Original Song. This is what I'm interested in because obviously all great options, but really it comes down to Barbie. And kind of what a shame it is. Barbie, what a great movie it is, but this is probably the category where it will find its most success and where it's most likely to actually succeed. Because it's down to I'm Just Ken and What Was I Made For. And man, as much as I love I'm Just Ken, I don't think it's going to win. Like, literally, I love this song so much. It was my favorite part of the movie. I have based probably 40% of my personality off of this character of Ken since watching the film. I have an I'm Just Ken poster on my wall. I have a Mojo Dojo Casa House flag in my dorm room. I love this song. It's such a catchy song. It's such a relatable song. Ken is such a relatable character. And so I would love for it to win. I'm so excited to see it performed at the Oscars. That, I think, is probably going to be the best part of the whole entire ceremony. But I would say most likely What Was I Made For is probably going to win. Because just looking at the Academy, most of these voters, they're on the older side. And I just feel like this is more their taste, because obviously it's a much more deeper, more serious, more emotional song. And while it mainly just plays in the end credits, and I do think I'm Just Ken, it's an integral part of the film, but whatever. What Was I Made For? It's still a great song. I still love it, and it's probably going to win. Best Picture is usually the big one, but let's be honest. I mean, all of these are great options, all great films from 2023. But it's going to be Oppenheimer. Like, there's no competition here. If anything else wins, it would probably be Poor Things. Maybe Barbie, but that's pretty unlikely. It looks like the Academy doesn't have a whole lot of love for that film. But Poor Things is a possibility, but we all know it's going to be Oppenheimer. This is just one of those locks. There's a couple certain categories here this year that are just like, yeah, that's going to be the winner, and that's the case here with Oppenheimer. And speaking of Oppenheimer, director Christopher Nolan is probably going to win as well. That's my prediction. He's been winning all the other award ceremonies. This will be his first Oscar. I think deservedly so. He's one of the best directors of our generation. The Dark Knight, fantastic movie. I haven't seen a whole lot of his other movies, but I did really enjoy Oppenheimer, and I do think he deserves the award. Best Supporting Actress, again, another lock. It's going to be Divine Joy Randolph. Great performance in The Holdovers. Best Supporting Actor, RDJ. He's won all the other awards. Great performance in Oppenheimer as Louis Strauss. Really excited about that one. Then kind of the final two that we're talking about, Best Actor and Best Actress. Best Actor is not really a whole lot of a race. There's some great options here like Jeffrey Wright, Bradley Cooper, but really it comes down to two with Paul Giamatti and Cillian Murphy. They're the two that have won throughout this award season. And man, I loved Paul Giamatti in The Holdover. Great film, and Paul Giamatti was fantastic in it. I can't believe at this point in his career he's never won an Oscar. So I would vote for Paul Giamatti. But after the SAG Awards, where Cillian got the win, my prediction is Cillian Murphy will win Best Actor at the Oscars. I feel like that's just where all the signs are pointing. So that's probably what's going to happen. Also, another great performance as well. Cillian Murphy, he's been in the business for quite a while, so I think he also is quite deserving of the award. But Best Actress, this is really the big category that could go not really so many different ways, but really two different ways. But it's kind of a coin toss because you got Carey Mulligan in here, you got Annette Bening, you got all those other actresses, all great performances, but it's down to the Stones, Emma Stone and Lily Gladstone, which it's been so all over the place with this category because obviously the Golden Globes, they both won because, Golden Globe splits it up into more categories, drama and comedy. But then Emma Stone was getting the momentum, winning award after award after award. But then you get to the SAG Awards and Lily Gladstone takes home the win, which was interesting because, you go to the BAFTA Awards, Lily Gladstone wasn't even nominated. But it's now much more of a stiff competition here. I've been so back and forth on this. I have not seen Killers of the Flower Moon, so I can't really properly judge Lily Gladstone's performance. But from what I have seen, obviously it's a great performance. She's getting nominated, getting these wins for a reason. And obviously this would be a big thing representation-wise. To have a Native American woman win this award would be quite a big deal. So I do think that would be really cool. And love to see, her speech at the Golden Globes was fantastic. So I'd love to see what her speech for the Oscars would be. But just because I actually saw the movie, I think I'm going to final prediction, Emma Stone will win Best Actress. Because yes, she has won an Oscar before for La La Land, my favorite movie of all time. And even though that is my favorite movie of all time, I can confidently say Poor Things is the best performance of Emma Stone's career. It's just such an insane role that she took on here. And she was so... Lily Gladstone, her performance from what I've seen is more subtle and more emotional. And Emma Stone definitely has the emotion here as well, but it's more physical as well. It's more with the body. She's very creative with a lot of what's going on here. Just creating this whole idea of this character of Bella Baxter, such an intriguing character. And also Emma Stone just had to have such a bravery to take on this role. She had to be extremely vulnerable for certain parts of this film. And just, it's so commendable. Like the work she did here is just fantastic. I love this movie so much. Really, this makes me want to rewatch the movie. I haven't seen it since it came out in theaters when I saw it then. But man, Emma Stone was just so good in Poor Things, that I believe she is going to win Best Actress at the Oscars 2024. So, folks, that is it. The Academy Awards. Those are my final predictions. Of course, tune in tonight, 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let's find out what I'm wrong about, what I'm right about. Hopefully, I'm right about all of them. Again, you can let me know your own predictions in the comments below. And do you have any special plans, any special watch parties, whatever you're going to do for the Oscars? I'm quite excited for it. But, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And thank you so much for watching. Please drop a like if you enjoyed this video and hit the subscribe button so I keep it up to date on everything that goes on in the movie life.